Hey guys, my name is Dean. Welcome to Manful Yoga. This is a yoga flow or a workout for erectile dysfunction. So in this video, we're going to address two key aspects of erectile dysfunction. Number one, we're going to work on your physical fitness. And then number two, we're going to work on anxiety. We're going to work on your mental wellness, which basically comes down to practicing your breathing and working on your mindfulness. You don't need any equipment for this workout. This is beginner friendly, no flexibility required. If you haven't already subscribed to Manful Yoga on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know as soon as a new video is released. And like this video, click the thumbs up if you enjoy what you're seeing. Here we go. We're going to start off on the ground with a bridge pose. So I'm going to walk you through all aspects of the technique. Just do your best. Do this as you're following along. Feel free to press pause as needed. Bridge pose. You're going to bring your heels in toward your butt, press down through your feet, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your hips, and then lift your hips off the floor. The goal here is to form a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, pressing down through your feet, squeezing your glutes, hugging your thighs toward one another, and you want to make sure that you're not arching through your low back. Keep your shoulders, keep your neck relaxed on the floor, and chin tucked in toward your throat. Also, while we're here and throughout this workout, we want to work on controlling our breathing. So breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. So try to start with maybe 3 or 4 second inhales, followed by 3 or 4 second exhales. And then from there, maybe building up to 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, and so on and so forth. But we want to keep our breathing slow and controlled. That's going to help with the stress and with the mental wellness aspects that go into erectile dysfunction. One more breath here. And then go ahead and release. From here, we're going to move into a boat pose, and I'm going to modify the boat pose so that we make it more beginner friendly. If you have a block, grab a block. If you don't have one, you don't need it. Don't worry. So I'm going to have you sit in an upright position as much as possible with your knees bent. You can use your hands on either side of your hips to get as tall as you can. Try to keep your chest neutral, so don't round your back like this. You also don't want to arch your back. Probably not going to arch your back in this position, but keep a neutral position, lean back slightly. If you have that block, put the block between your thighs and squeeze it. Hold it there. Now you can use your hands to keep yourself upright. If you're feeling good here and want to go further, lift your feet off the ground. Try to get your shins to parallel to the floor and continue to lift your chest up. You're going to feel a lot of hip work here, kind of in the fronts of your hips and the fronts of your thighs, so your hip flexors, a little bit of quadriceps. Keep your chest lifting up. Try to keep your core tight, your core working, almost like if someone were going to punch you in the stomach, you want to feel those muscles brace. Keep the chin in toward your throat. Keep lifting up through your chest. If you're feeling good here, you can extend your arms out in front of you. Hold here for 2 more breaths, and again, trying to breathe in and out of your nose. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Last breath. And then release. Okay, nicely done. From here we're going to go into a butterfly pose. So bring your heels in toward your butt, soles of your feet together. You can grab the outsides of your feet if you want. Try to sit as upright as possible. If this feels really challenging, you have a block. You can sit on that if you have your block. If you don't have a block, you could sit on a pillow. So this is going to help get you into a more upright position and is going to make this pose a lot easier. Press down through your hips. Try to lift your ribs away from your hips so you're getting in a nice upright position. And then use your hips to squeeze your knees toward the ground. Bring your shoulders down and back, chin in toward your throat. Breathe in and out of your nose. And we're here for 3 breaths. Again, you can sit on that block if you want to. If you're feeling good and your lower back doesn't round too much, if it doesn't poke out behind you like this, then you can do this from a seated position with your butt on the floor. 1 more breath. and then release. From here, we're gonna go into a seated twist. I'm gonna give you a couple modifications. Bring your right leg straight out in front of you and kind of shift from side to side like you see me doing here to sit forward on your hips. Make sure you're not sitting back. And then bring your left heel in toward your butt. This is modification 1. You're going to lightly hug your left knee and twist toward the left. As you inhale, lift your chest up, get tall. As you exhale, squeeze your abs and twist toward the left. You want to make sure that you're using your hips here to hold yourself upright and not relying on your hands to help hold you up. To make this more challenging, or if you have a mobility for it, cross your left foot over your right knee. Same thing, using your hands on the knee to help support yourself lightly, lifting your chest up, twisting toward the left. And you can even maybe hook your right elbow outside that left knee as long as you're here with some active mobility, meaning you're holding yourself there with your strength, not just cranking your elbow into your knee. All right, go ahead and release. And we'll switch sides. So now left leg comes out in front of you. You're gonna bring your right heel in toward your butt. Again, kind of helps to move your hips from side to side. Shift forward so that you're sitting on the fronts of your hips. Lift your chest up like you're puffing your chest out. Press the top of your head toward the ceiling. Make sure that your legs are active here. So I'm gonna squeeze my thighs, use my hip flexors. Pretend like you're lifting your leg off the ground. That's going to help activate the right muscles in your hips and thighs. And then from here, twisting to look over toward the right. As you inhale, get tall. As you exhale, twist deeper. Try to maintain a sense of lightness to your spine. If you want to make this more challenging or you feel like you're ready for it, cross your right ankle over your right foot over the left knee. You can bring your right hand behind your back. Left elbow comes across the knee. And same thing, as you're inhaling, getting taller. And as you're exhaling, twisting deeper into this. You're gonna feel your hips, your core, and your spine working here. All right, come back to the middle. Nicely done. From here, we're gonna take it onto your chest. This one's called Cobra. This is a really important one for your core strength, your spine strength, and also for pelvic floor strength. Bring your hands under your chest. Extend your legs back as far as possible. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Hug your legs toward one another. If you feel cramping in your feet, that's normal. It'll go away with time and practice. And then using your core and your hip strength, pull your chest forward, lengthen your body, and lift your chest away from the floor. Hover your hands so you make sure that you're not pressing up. Squeeze your elbows down toward your hips and in toward one another. So you're gonna feel your upper back working here. Your chest is opening. Your knees are off the ground because you're squeezing your thighs. The tops of your feet are pressing into the floor. Tuck your chin in toward your throat. Press your head away from you. Try to maintain a sense of control to your breathing in and out of the nose. One more breath. And release. Okay, nicely done. From here, moving on to a downward facing dog. I want you to start in a plank position with your hands under your shoulders, index fingers facing forward, thumbs facing in, fingers spread nice and wide. From here, bend your knees, hike your butt up and back, press into your hands, get your butt as far away from you as you can, lock out your arms, bend your knees so you can make sure that your back is flat. Think about aiming your tailbone up at the ceiling. And then you can squeeze your thighs to help straighten your legs a little more. Goal here, it's a full body exercise. So we're gonna feel the shoulders stretching. You'll feel your upper back working to hold yourself up. You should feel your hamstrings and your calves stretching, so the backs of your legs. Shouldn't feel any pain through your low back. You wanna make sure that the low back is as flat as possible. It helps to look at yourself in a mirror. You can also try recording yourself and watching yourself later on to make sure you have proper technique here. Your knees are facing straight forward. The insides of your feet are parallel to one another. And you're squeezing your abs to protect your back. Again, controlling your breathing, so slowly breathing in and out of your nose. One more breath. All right. And then release down. Nicely done. From here, we're going to move up into a chair pose. So this is a really important one for lower body strength and core strength. You're going to start with your toes touching, your heels an inch apart. If that's uncomfortable for you, for a lot of guys, it's uncomfortable to stand with your feet touching. Grab that block. If you don't have a block, then just stand with your feet hip width distant. And you can put that block between your thighs and squeeze it between your thighs. From here, you're going to bend your knees slightly forward and then hinge at your hips. Bring your butt down and back. Make sure that your back stays flat. So you're coming into kind of a lightning bolt shape with your body. Your back is flat, your abs are engaged, your thighs are working, right? We want to feel the muscles around your knees and the muscles in your hips working. And then from here, bring your arms out in front of you. If you can, bring your arms straight overhead, squeezing your arms as far back as possible. And you're going to feel your lower body working here, your hips, your glutes, your thighs, and your abs. And make sure that you're breathing, controlling the breathing in and out of your nose. Part of the reason for erectile dysfunction is just a general lack of physical fitness. So we need to build strength. Building muscle is one of the easiest things, or one of the most simple ways to improve your physical fitness, and you're going to do it with these basic exercises. Go a little bit lower, 5 more seconds, almost there. This is probably the hardest part of the workout. 3, 2, 1, stand up, squeeze your arms back, and release your arms. Okay, great job. From here, we're going to move to a standing forward fold. Listen carefully to the technique. I want you to start with your feet, again, about 6 inches apart, or hip width distant. Put the block, if you have it, about a foot in front of your feet. If you don't have a block, don't worry, it's fine. From here, you're going to bend your knees, bring your butt straight back, lengthen your chest forward. Notice that my back is going to stay flat here. I don't want to see a C shape with your back. So this, you see me doing here now, don't do this for a standing forward fold. Keep your knees bent. Allow your chest to come toward your legs. You're not actually going to touch your chest to your legs. But for most of us, it's probably not going to happen. But I want you to think about that instead of thinking about just bringing your hands to the ground or bringing your head toward your knee. So we're lengthening the body forward. Knees are bent. I want to feel stretching through the backs of my thighs. Again, my abs are working. So if you look at me, my lower back isn't poking up above my hips. I want to keep my low back flat. The block is here so we can rest our hands on the block. And that way we don't have to worry about trying to get the fingertips to the ground when you don't have the mobility to get there yet. If you don't have the blocks, you can also bring your hands to your knees, maybe down to your shins. Continue to breathe in and out of your nose. This pose is good because it, number one, helps with stress relief, so it's going to help with your mental health, but also it's working on your core strength and your pelvic strength, and I'm working on the circulation of that area, which is also going to help with erectile dysfunction. One more breath here. Stay strong, stay active, don't be passive here. And then go ahead and stand back up. Nice job. Next pose is a triangle, and this is going to work on your hip mobility, but also work on your core and your hip stability and strength as well. Start in a wide-legged stance, like you see me doing here. Toes turned slightly in. If you have a block, grab the block. Turn your right foot to face the top of the mat. Bend your knee, and then bring the block inside your right foot. Rest your hand lightly there. Roll back your left shoulder, and then press into your right foot, straightening your right leg until you feel stretch through your inner thigh. Roll back that left shoulder. Work on using the muscles in your pelvic floor and your core area. So I really want you focusing on the upper thighs, from the mid-thigh up, all the way to your ribs. We want to work on feeling those muscles flex, feeling those muscles engage. So not just stretching, but also building strength here. Press your head away from your hips and up slightly. and then lift your chest slightly. This is going to help with making sure your abs are working. Your core is probably the most important part of your overall physical fitness. We need to build core strength. So this is going to help with that, but only if we work on that muscle awareness. Breathing in and out of the nose. One more breath here. And then bend back into your knee, grab your block, go ahead and stand up, and we'll switch sides. Triangle, other side. Turn your left foot to face the back of the mat, bend your knee, block into your left hand. If you have a block, if you don't have it, don't worry about it, you don't need it. And then bring your outside of your left hand into the ankle, roll back your right shoulder, and if you don't quite have the mobility to bring the hand to the ankle, bend your knee more, or just bring your hand higher up on the shin. Again, right shoulder rolls back, right hand to the right hip. I want to make sure that my pelvic floor and my abs are working here. Lengthen your head away from your hips. Make sure that you're not collapsing here or getting lazy through your torso. You want to stay upright. And we're holding here for 2 more breaths, breathing in and out of your nose. We want to breathe in and out of the nose as opposed to gasping for air, breathing out of your mouth, because that's going to help with improving your physical fitness more so. If you breathe in and out of your mouth, you're going to go into fight or flight mode. And we want to work on helping you get into testing your body, but being able to control yourself in while you're exerting yourself. And breathing out of your nose is going to help that more. All right, go ahead and come out of that. It was a little longer than 2 breaths. We have one more pose here, and this is a challenging pose, but it's really going to help with building more strength and helping with your core strength in particular. So I'm going to have you go back to that chair position we started in with your feet about 6 inches apart. Bend your knees, or not the chair pose we started in, but the one we did a couple poses ago. Bend your knees, bring your butt down and back, bring your arms out in front of you, and then keeping your hips squared forward, I want you to just lift your left knee off, or left foot off the ground, and try to extend that leg forward. Keep your hips facing forward. Don't let your hips turn out to the left. And you're going to feel your glutes working here. Keep your chest upright. Make sure that you're not rounding your back. So think about lengthening your butt out behind you. Don't let your back round. Don't let your butt come under your body. Stick it out behind you. That's going to help with turning on the right muscles in this exercise. 5 more seconds. Do your best. And then stand up, and we'll switch sides. Last side, last pose. Feet about 6 inches apart. Sit down in the chair pose. Knees come slightly forward, butt comes down and back. Bring your arms out in front of you. And then keeping your hips squared forward, extend your right leg forward. Extend the leg. The weight's going to shift into your left leg. You're going to feel your left hip, your glutes working, your butt muscles. Also very important to erectile function. So the core, the hips, this is really all that we need to get working in order to address the root causes of erectile dysfunction, at least from a physical fitness perspective, and then also making sure that you're working on breathing, making sure that you're managing your stress. And stand up. All right, so I do have a few other videos I think you're going to enjoy. If you're looking to improve your strength for erections, I do have a very popular video on that. I'm going to put it in the link and up in this corner here if you want to click on that, or maybe it's in this corner. I don't remember which. I'm also going to list a couple of other workouts for you to try. Again, erectile dysfunction comes down to mainly 2 things: just a lack of general physical fitness, lack of cardiovascular ability, but then also there is a mental wellness side to that, and you can work on that in terms of working out by practicing your breathing, practicing mindfulness, and we're going to do all of that with a good yoga workout. So be sure to check out some of the other workouts on this channel. Check out that yoga workout for erectile strength that I just mentioned. Subscribe to Manful Yoga if you haven't already. Leave a comment, like the video if you found it helpful, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.